Speed boosters are pretty fantastic. So when Commlite asked me to review their focal reducer, I'm like, sure, yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to actually be testing it with my Panasonic G7, affordable 4K camera, affordable speed booster. First impressions when I took this out of the box, it's all made of metal, which is pretty great. And it fits pretty snug against the lens, which is a good thing. Now, however, when it's attached to the body, there's a bit of play. However, it's not too bad. One small problem I had with this when mounting it like so. Use my quick release plate on the camera, this would get in the way. So instead I have to use this little 1/4-20 that's on the focal reducer itself. So good thing that it's there. However, it becomes a little tricky when you're trying to detach the focal reducer, because as you can see, if I want to take off the focal reducer, it impedes with that. So you just have to take it off when you're switching. A small problem. The other thing about this is the handling, especially with this combination. It's a little off balance here. Well, it's actually not that bad. I found it's just basically holding it by the lens, and you're just using this for operation. Pretty much a standard focal length with electronic communication, so it's a 0.71x, and it gives you a one-stop brightness. At f1.8, it drops actually down to an f1.3. So yeah, you're getting an effective one-stop brightness, so that's always good. We're always looking for more light, and it's getting wider too. So when I shoot it at 4K with this reduction, I forget the exact numbers, I'll put it up here, but it's actually a little bit more cropped in than Super 35 on the C100. That being said, when we switch over to 1080p, it's actually a bit wider than Super 35, which is pretty cool. Now, if you were to attach this onto a GH5, GH5S, Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, with this Commlite adapter, you will actually get pretty close to full frame, I believe. You're probably wondering, how's the autofocus? Well, let's actually switch that on right here. If you're using regular push to focus, like I mainly do when I'm just setting focus really quick, it works pretty fine. It's a little bit slower than native Panasonic lenses, and you can definitely hear it shifting a bit. However, if you're trying to use continuous autofocus, you're going to have some problems there. So I'm going to quickly turn on continuous autofocus right here. Let's raise this up to an appropriate level. So you can automatically hear a little bit of clicking. I know the Panasonic G7 doesn't have the best autofocus, but with this whole setup is not the best to work with. It hunts around a lot, you can definitely hear it. I would not use continuous autofocus with this setup. It's just setting your focus. It's pretty decent. Now let's take a look at the image quality. Because you're introducing a new piece of glass, you're actually going to affect the image quality in some way. And I have to do more tests with this, but I found that there's a little bit of lack of sharpness compared to a regular passive adapter. And there seems to be a little bit of haloing, and that may just be to being at such a wide aperture. So maybe if you stop down the clear up, still I'll do more tests on that. So I want to see how well this glass element holds up against lens flares. So I did a quick test with a passive adapter. Now switching over to the Commlite adapter, you're definitely getting more lens flares. But it's still holding up fairly well. So whether or not you like or dislike the lens flares, it's all personal preference and it's up to you to decide. So that is it for this Commlite focal reducer review. My friend actually has the Metabone Speedbooster, so maybe I could borrow that and do a comparison, which would be pretty cool. Please make sure to give this video a like if you found it helpful. And other than that, I'll catch you guys later. I'm not gonna get home.